Good morning, grade 8. I hope you are all fine and safe. We're going to talk about non-self, types of white blood cells, the role of these white blood cells, antibodies and their function, and the organs of the immune system. As we mentioned before, the immune system has the ability to recognize self and non-self. Today, we're going to talk about the non-self. The non-self is a set of molecules and organisms that doesn't belong to our body that trigger immune reactions called antigens. So antigens are recognized as non-self and they do not belong to our body, so they trigger the immune reactions. Some microorganisms are not pathogenic or harmful, but they are useful to the organism or to the human being. Others are pathogenic and cause disease. Pathogenic means they have the ability to cause disease, such as bacteria, viruses, pollen grains, and fungi. Recognize all the possible external invaders. Invaders are non-self. They do not belong to our body. We have the virus, the bacteria or the parasite, toxins, allergens, and graft. So the body has the ability to recognize all these possible external invaders. The immune system is the body's defense system that helps protect us from harmful germs or external invaders like bacteria, viruses, and other invaders. So it works by recognizing and fighting off these harmful things to keep us healthy. This immune system includes specialized cells, the white blood cells, substances secreted by these cells, and special organs that all work together to defend the body. So the immune system includes cells, organs, and substances produced by them. So which cells are involved in the immunity? Before we answer this question, let's review together the blood composition. Blood is made up of red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. The cells that are involved in the immunity are the white blood cells only. Blood cells. As you can see here, we have different types of white blood cells. We have the monocytes, the granulocytes, and the lymphocytes. Monocytes have horseshoe nucleus. The granulocytes, from their name, they have granulated cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. It contains granules. So that's why it is called granulated. And also the nucleus here is multilobed. So granulocytes have granulated cytoplasm and they have multilobed nuclei. The lymphocytes, the nucleus here is round and it fills most of the cytoplasm. So these monocytes or these white blood cells differ in the shape of the nucleus and in their function. Cells include monocytes, have a horseshoe nucleus. They cross the capillary wall and become macrophage in the tissue, and also they have phagocytic ability. While the granulocytes are or have multilobed nuclei, they cross the capillary wall and they also have phagocytic ability. lymphocytes, we have the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. Both have rounded nucleus. The B lymphocytes secrete antibodies, and the T lymphocytes are known as killer cells. These white blood cells, or these different types of white blood cells, have a specific role in the immunity. Each has a specific way of protection against any kind of pathogen or invader. Now, let's talk about the antibodies. These are the antibodies. This one is antibody. Also, this one is antibody. This one. Okay, here we have another antibody. So these are the antibodies. These are Y-shaped proteins. They are produced by the B cells in response to the presence of antigen. So, when the body recognizes antigen, the B lymphocyte produces Y-shaped proteins known as antibodies to protect the body against these antigens. Antibodies can recognize soluble and cellular antigens. So the main role of the antibodies is to recognize the antigens. We have two types of antigen. We have the soluble antigens that are dissolved in a liquid, in the plasma, for example. And also we have cellular antigens that are attached to a surface. Every different antibody recognizes a specific antigen. So every antibody recognizes only a specific antigen because the two types are specific to each antigen. This is the antibody. This is the antibody. These are this one and this one are the types. These are the types of the antibody. The two types are specific to each antigen. These antibody bind antigen in an interlocking manner resembling puzzle elements. Here we have different types of pathogens. These pathogens have different antigens on their surface. Let's say this is pathogen 1. It has a specific antigens that are attached to its surface. Let's say this is a pathogen 2. This pathogen has specific antigens that are found on their surface. The antigens of pathogen 1 are different from the antigens of pathogen 2. And each kind of antigen can be recognized by a specific antibody. So, specific antibody can bind to a specific antigen. This is the last point in our video for today. Organs of the immune system. We have the primary lymphoid organs, we have the bone marrow and the thymus. Bone marrow is the soft spongy tissue found inside the bones. And the thymus is a small specialized organ of the immune system located just behind the breastbone and in front of the heart. This is the thymus. We have the lymph nodes. These are the lymph nodes. They are found in specific areas or locations. We have the spleen. This is the spleen. And we have the tonsil. This is the tonsil. All white blood cells produced and mature in the red marrow of the bones, the bone marrow, except the T cells which mature in the thymus. So all the white blood cells are produced in the bone marrow, and also they mature in the bone marrow except the T lymphocytes that are or that mature in the thymus. It circulates continuously between the lymph nodes and the spleen through the blood and lymphatic vessels. So the leukocytes or the mature leukocytes, they circulate between the lymph nodes and the spleen. They circulate between the lymph nodes and the spleen. The recognition of antigen in the lymph nodes triggers the multiplication of lymphocytes in these organs. The huge increase in the number of these cells causes swelling of the lymph nodes. Thank you for watching. See you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.